He told us that Justin Baldoni claims she tried to take over his movie because she has a history of saying, okay, I'll be the star, but what I secretly want to do.
These turn to rumors of misbehavior on set by Baldoni.
Lively's complaint accuses Baldoni, who is also the film's director, of creating a hostile work environment and trying to ruin her reputation after she expressed her concern.
Blake Lively, it appears to me, completely lied about that critical scene in which she involved Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds. TMZ reported that Blake Lively has told people that there were multiple reasons that Justin Baldoni made her feel uncomfortable, it's a feminist buzzword, uncomfortable on
highly charged legal climate that has captivated audiences near and far. Two well-known figures in the entertainment world, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, have found themselves locked in a fierce courtroom standoff. The background leading up to this tense face-off traces back several months. Lively wrote, "New pages can always be sent to me as well, please," and signed the message with an X, the universal symbol for a kiss. She followed up with another text shortly thereafter, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines." Baldoni responded, "Copy, eating with the crew, and we'll head that way."
But they were able to present text from Blake Lively herself. I guess they had gotten a new version of the script they hadn't practiced or whatever at this point. And she said, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines." And he said, "Copy, eating with the crew, and then heading that way." So at least they can prove in this singular instance she did invite him in.
18 months later, that interaction was depicted in a New York Times bombshell report in a far more sinister light. The Times wrote that Baldoni repeatedly entered her makeup trailer uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding.
And I think the truth lies in the middle, because Justin is putting out some interesting counter-arguments in this new suit that he's actually suing the New York Times. Now, is he going to win? I don't think so. I think it's an incredibly hard battle to win. But now, with what we've seen Trump do with George Stephanopoulos.
Beginning with Blake Lively's launch of a massive legal complaint against Justin Baldoni. Alleging serious wrongdoing on Justin's part, Blake's initial lawsuit stunned both the media and fans, as she cited a claim worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Most observers initially assumed Justin would either move to settle quickly or prepare to downsize the claims through procedural maneuvers. However, Justin defied those expectations by countering with a legal action of his own, one that was even larger in its monetary demands. In so doing, he declared that he was not only prepared to challenge Blake's accusations, but fully ready to escalate the conflict if necessary. As these allegations and counterclaims surfaced, the stage was set for what could potentially be one of the most dramatic legal battles Hollywood has witnessed in recent years. From the outset, the atmosphere surrounding this dispute was fraught with tension. Several legal analysts shared the view that, despite both parties' celebrity status, one of them would likely yield early to avoid the risk of severe reputational damage. Yet neither side showed the slightest intention of surrender, hinting that an extensive, drawn-out struggle lay ahead. As soon as the story reached mainstream media outlets, it became front-page news, seizing public attention. Commentators quickly weighed in on the merits of Blake's accusations, as well as the possible impacts of Justin's countercase. Some speculated that Blake, known for her accomplished career and generally polished public image, must have compelling reasons to file such a massive suit. Others insisted that Justin, who rose to fame in both acting and directing roles, wouldn't risk his professional reputation by lodging an even bigger claim without having confidence in concrete evidence to back it up. This immediate divide signaled that the dispute had already transcended the courtroom, evolving into a highly public confrontation where social media discussions and online speculation would play almost as large a role as legal depositions and motions. Following months of legal filings, discovery requests, and allegations emerging from both camps, the case finally reached a critical juncture when the two sides met in court for a preliminary hearing.
Who knows anymore where these things are going to...
That discrepancy is one of many highlighted in the scathing $250 million lawsuit filed Tuesday afternoon by Baldoni against the New York Times in Los Angeles Superior Court. Baldoni is among a group of 10 plaintiffs, which also includes publicists Melissa Nathan and Jennifer A.L., who are suing the newspaper for libel and false light invasion of privacy over the article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." Lively's federal lawsuit, on the other hand, dives deeper into the allegations of harassment. She claims Baldoni's behavior began subtly but escalated over time, leaving her feeling unsafe on set. According to her lawsuit, the retaliation campaign not only damaged her reputation but also caused her severe emotional distress. The 87-page complaint, which also accuses the New York Times of promissory fraud and breach of implied contract, offers a rebuttal to the narrative set forth in the 4,000-word article that has rocked Hollywood and led to WME dropping Baldoni as a client just hours after publication.
Justin also leveled accusations at Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, for being aggressive while defending the Gossip Girl actress. According to the lawsuit obtained by E! News, it reads, quote, Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, had aggressively berated Baldoni during a meeting at their penthouse in New York, accusing him of fat-shaming Lively, and that the couple's, quote, inappropriate and humiliating berating of him was delivered as other celebrity friends were coming in and out of their penthouse.
And how the worst thing Justin Baldoni's team can come up with is that she was rude and difficult and threatened not to show up at work. You know, if you read the complaint, I think she had very valid reasons why she wouldn't want to show up to work in an environment like
Blake Lively has just dropped a major plot twist in the ongoing drama surrounding her recent activities, as she is officially suing Justin Baldoni for inappropriate behavior and defamation. The book, which sold millions of copies worldwide, delves into themes of domestic abuse and resilience, a powerful story that Hollywood hoped would spark conversation and inspire change.
Lively's lawsuit claims that the abusive dynamic on screen was mirrored off screen, with Baldoni allegedly engaging in repeated acts of harassment, ranging from unwanted physical contact to inappropriate comments, and creating a pervasive atmosphere of fear and anxiety throughout the production.
Filming began, and all seemed well, at least from the outside. Behind the scenes, however, tensions were reportedly brewing, labeling her as difficult and unstable.
Justin is suing the New York Times for $250 million. Holy hell, this is insane. I mean, he's going to have a hard time proving it, right? I mean, we're going to have to see. No one just sues the New York Times, or do they? I don't.
But Baldoni's lawsuit paints a different picture. In it, he claims that the New York Times selectively quoted texts and emails, stripping them of critical context to make him look like a villain. He argues that the article has caused irreparable harm to his career and personal life, and he's seeking $250 million in damages. On June 2, 2023, Blake Lively began a text exchange with her It Ends With Us director and co-star, Justin Baldoni, who blamed her assistant for not getting her an updated batch of script pages. She didn't realize they were new. This lawsuit comes after the public turned against her during the press tour for It Ends With Us ever since the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel was announced in 2019. Anticipation has been sky-high. With over 20 million copies sold worldwide and the novel becoming a TikTok sensation, fans had immense expectations. However, the announcement of Blake Lively, famous for her role as Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl, being cast as Lily Bloom left many fans skeptical. Their concerns grew after set photos revealed unexpected costume designs for her character. The tension escalated even before filming began, as reports surfaced about conflicts between Blake and Justin Baldoni, who not only directed the film but also starred as Ryle Kincaid. While the exact reasons for their clashes remain unclear, whispers of creative disagreements and a strained dynamic behind the scenes began circulating early on, adding fuel to the already heated controversy surrounding the project. The speculation surrounding Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni only grew stronger when fans noticed that Justin appeared to keep his distance from the rest of the cast during production. Now, with the recent news of Blake's lawsuit, fans are revisiting everything that transpired before and during the press tour with a fresh perspective. Justin has been accused of inappropriate behavior on set and slandering Blake's character throughout the filming process. Strategic moves by the attorneys and glimpses into what might happen during the main trial. According to unofficial sources, the presiding judge spent the bulk of the session reviewing the nature of the allegations, the potential scope of the upcoming trial, and each legal team's readiness to proceed with what promises to be a complicated series of proceedings. Everyone was prepared for this to be an intense opening act, and they were not disappointed. Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, arrived with an unmistakably combative stance. From the moment he entered the courtroom, Friedman made it clear that he had come to protect his client's interests fervently. Clad in a tailored suit and radiating a confident demeanor, he spared no effort in challenging Blake's legal team at every turn. Friedman insisted that Blake's lawsuit lacked firm evidence and characterized it as an attempt to damage Justin's name in the public eye. During these opening arguments, Friedman leveled criticisms against Blake's attorneys for trying to manipulate the media narrative before Justin had even had the chance to properly respond. This claim was bolstered by the fact that, earlier in the dispute, Blake's side had circulated information to a prominent news outlet with scarcely half a day's notice given to Justin. Unsurprisingly, Friedman expressed outrage at what he perceived as a tactic designed to box his client into a corner. Blake's attorneys responded forcefully, denying that their client was engaged in any effort to skew public perception. They maintained that Blake was the genuine victim of serious wrongdoing and had only gone public to ensure that the relevant facts were brought to light. Despite their insistence, Friedman quickly gained the upper hand in this early round by reminding the court that the original media coverage, which showcased very damaging statements against Justin, placed him in a defensive position from the beginning. Friedman used this point to argue that Justin had every right to defend himself in an equally visible manner, whether that involved speaking to journalists, posting on social media, or even hosting a dedicated website to display what Friedman described as incontrovertible evidence. Friedman's determination was so striking. During production, signs of tension were evident, as Blake and Justin were rarely seen together, even at promotional events, further fueling rumors that all was not well behind the scenes. But when she did, the article claimed Baldoni and his team retaliated with a calculated smear campaign aimed at discrediting her.
Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, made it clear in a statement to People that this impending lawsuit will expose what he says is the truth behind Lively's complaint. He said, quote, "This is not a response or countersuit. It's a deliberate pursuit of truth."
This article triggered Baldoni's $250 million defamation suit, in which he accuses the New York Times of deliberately distorting facts and cherry-picking evidence to create a narrative of misconduct. Meanwhile, Blake Lively filed her own lawsuit detailing allegations of harassment and retaliation. Now, both cases are headed for a legal showdown.
During improvised kissing scenes, and also shot those scenes more times than would be expected to be reasonable, and during a scene where no audio was recorded, that Baldoni spoke to her out of character, not as the person he plays in the film, then licked her neck and said it smells so good, and after being confronted by this behavior, told Lively that he wasn't even attracted to her. Again, this is according to the complaint.
The New York Times article alleged that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign to silence Lively after she brought up concerns about his behavior. According to the report, Lively claimed that Baldoni frequently crossed professional boundaries, entering her trailer uninvited, making inappropriate comments, and pressuring her into uncomfortable situations.
During another scene, Lively claims Baldoni improvised a kissing scene according to the complaint. Mr. Baldoni discreetly bit and sucked on Ms. Lively's lower lip during a scene in which he improvised numerous kisses on each take.
When Lively expressed her discomfort, the article alleged that Baldoni and his PR team retaliated by planting negative stories about her in the media.
Her and made her want to give you over the movie rights. I mean, she had a lot of requests.
Yeah, I don't know if, again, I feel like there was some divine guidance there. I don't think it was the words. I think it was the intention and the why that I wanted to make the movie, and the heart that I try to put in everything that I do. And I think at the end of the day, that speaks maybe more than words do. I think that people can feel the intention. It's like the difference between like your grandmother's food and a restaurant's food, right? There's something that's always different about it, and that's the way that we try to make movies, and it's the way I try to live, and I don't know, maybe Colleen just felt that.
At the New York premiere of It Ends With Us, eagle-eyed fans noticed a glaring absence of group photos featuring the main cast. This fueled speculation further, especially after social media users discovered that several cast members, including Blake Lively, had unfollowed Justin Baldoni on Instagram, a move many considered a significant red flag. As the press tour kicked off, tensions appeared to escalate, and Blake's approach to promoting the movie came under heavy criticism online. Many took issue with how Blake handled the promotional efforts, arguing that she focused more on florals, fashion, and her hair care line rather than addressing the serious issues explored in the story. During one event, she even invited fans to grab their florals to see the movie, a move that left critics and fans questioning the tone and sincerity of the promotion. This added another layer of controversy to an already fraught situation.
With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals.
This particular comment from Blake Lively struck a nerve with many, as it was widely deemed tone-deaf given the film's serious subject matter. Instead, she was encouraged to maintain a lighthearted tone while promoting the film, in stark contrast to the serious themes portrayed. As the press tour progressed, many suspected that it wasn't until Justin Baldoni saw the public reception that he decided to go rogue. His Puerto Rico team allegedly pushed for a more authentic approach, which resulted in Justin being portrayed as the only serious member of the cast. This shift led fans to believe that there was an elaborate effort to smear Blake's name in the media, with one fan commenting that they felt manipulated into blaming Blake, while the real responsibility likely lay with the entire team of studio executives and producers. The fan expressed disdain for Justin's actions, stating, "Justin is a gross man for going rogue at the expense of Blake's reputation." They also noted that Blake's behavior during the promotional campaign now made more sense, adding, "I feel terrible she went through that, it's horrible."
This alleged smear campaign caused what Blake described as substantial harm to both her personal and professional life. Her team claimed that Justin's camp actively worked to slander her credibility, all while raising his own profile, which made it even more difficult for Blake to navigate the media landscape during the film's release. Since the lawsuit was filed, Justin Baldoni's legal team has denied the allegations, with his lawyer, Brian Fredman, calling the accusations shameful and entirely fabricated. This denial comes amid the ongoing legal battle, which has intensified public scrutiny surrounding the behind-the-scenes tensions on the set of It Ends With Us. Despite the legal rebuttal, the controversy has continued to capture the attention of fans and media alike, further complicating the dynamics between the cast, crew, and their respective public images. Fredman also claimed that Blake made numerous demands during the film's production, including threats to derail the project unless her conditions were met. Justin's team argued that the hiring of a crisis manager wasn't intended to smear Blake, but rather to protect the film from what they described as her alleged disruptions. However, the tide of public opinion seems to have sharply shifted in Blake's favor. Several prominent figures, including her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars America Ferrera, Amber Tamlin, and Alexis Boleto, released a joint statement in support of Blake. They expressed their disappointment, stating, "Throughout the filming of It Ends With Us, we saw her summon the courage to ask for a safe workplace for herself and colleagues. We are appalled to read the evidence of a premeditated and vindictive effort that ensued to discredit her voice." Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, also expressed her support for Blake, describing her as honest, kind, supportive, and patient. Colleen's backing added significant weight to Blake's claims, as she had been deeply involved in the project from its inception. It seems like a strategic effort from Justin's PR team to shift the narrative in his favor, but it unintentionally cast Blake in a negative light, and much of that negativity was amplified by social media and the media's focus on it. You're right that the internet's divided opinions show just how nuanced and polarizing these types of situations can be. People may interpret Justin's actions differently. Some might see them as strategic or genuine, while others might view them as manipulative. It's clear, though, that media outlets didn't give Justin the same scrutiny they gave Blake, which raises questions about the influence of PR strategies and media agendas. It'll be interesting to see how this situation develops as more details come to light. What do you think, though? Do you believe Blake's portrayal was more unfair than Justin's in the public eye? Was proving effective in influencing public opinion?
Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni appeared to take a contrasting approach during the press tour. He focused on the deeper themes of the movie and engaged in discussions about the real and significant topics portrayed in the story. This stark difference in their promotional strategies only added to the ongoing controversy surrounding the film and its production.
But about the why behind it. If a Lily Bloom in real life can sit in this theater and maybe make a different choice for herself than was made for her, maybe she sees herself on that screen and chooses something different for herself, that's why I made it.
However, fans quickly noticed Justin Baldoni's silence regarding the controversies surrounding his co-star, Blake Lively. As Blake faced an overwhelming wave of online hate, Justin refrained from addressing the backlash against her. Instead, reports surfaced that he had hired Melissa Nathan, a high-profile crisis manager known for representing Johnny Depp during his legal battles. This move raised eyebrows, with many questioning why the director of a seemingly straightforward romantic drama needed such a heavy PR strategy.
Even members of the film's production team and cast have come forward to side with Blake after she took a brave stand. Brandon Scanar, who had already defended her during the film's press tour, has since reinforced his support for her, calling her a respected professional. Fans are now speculating that Blake might have kept silent regarding all that has happened until now, as her legal team was gathering the necessary evidence to expose Justin, something that seems to have worked incredibly well. This complex situation seems to reflect both a clash of personal interests and the challenge of balancing corporate pressure with a genuine desire to promote the film in a meaningful way. This situation definitely reveals a lot of complexity with multiple perspectives at play. The dynamics between Blake, Justin, and the media, especially the way Blake's public image was targeted, add layers of intrigue.
While some individuals stepped forward to defend Blake amid the ongoing smear campaign, Justin's continued silence spoke volumes. His unwillingness to publicly support Blake added fuel to the fire. In fact, one of his comments seemed to exacerbate the situation. He referred to Blake as a creative force who had taken control behind the scenes, a remark that many interpreted as a subtle criticism of the influence she and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, reportedly wielded on set. Justin's decision to remain silent, coupled with his hiring of a crisis PR team, led fans to speculate that he was intentionally distancing himself from Blake amidst the controversy. 4 months after the release of It Ends With Us, the off-screen drama surrounding its production escalated to a shocking new level. Blake Lively officially filed a legal complaint against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of creating a hostile work environment and engaging in deeply inappropriate behavior on set.